Blood-stained floors, bullet-riddled walls, 26 murders, and the lingering spirits of those who never left. Welcome to the Birdcage Theater, where for 8 years, Tombstone's most notorious saloon never closed its doors. Some call it the most haunted building in America. Others say it's just an old saloon with creaky floors and a violent past. But one thing's certain. Once you step inside the Birdcage Theater, you'll never forget the stories these walls could tell, if only they could speak. Welcome to Tombstone, Arizona, a town whose name has become synonymous with the lawless days of the American frontier. In the shadow of the infamous OK Corral stands another landmark steeped in history, violence, and according to many, paranormal activity. The Birdcage Theater, once advertised as the wildest, wickedest night spot between Basin Street and the Barbary Coast. Today, we're stepping through those infamous doors to uncover the colorful history and ghostly legends that have made this former saloon, gambling den, and brothel one of America's most haunted locations. On December 26, 1881, as Tombstone was flourishing from the silver mining boom, John and Minnie Loring opened the doors of the Birdcage Theater. Their initial vision was to create an upscale establishment featuring entertainment that would rival the finest venues in San Francisco. The name Birdcage came from the 14 small private box seats suspended from the ceiling on the upper level. These cages featured red velvet curtains that could be drawn for privacy, each containing a small table, 2 chairs, and a couch. While the Lorings may have envisioned refined theatrical performances, the economic reality of a mining town quickly transformed their business model. For $25, the equivalent of about $700 today, miners and cowboys could buy a bottle of whiskey and the company of one of the ladies of the evening in these private booths. Below on the main floor, gambling tables, a bar, and a small stage offered entertainment for those with shallower pockets. The Birdcage wasn't just open during evening hours. In a town where the mines operated around the clock, the theater ran 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The non-stop party would continue uninterrupted for 8 years, from 1881 to 1889. In the basement of the Birdcage Theater, a poker table sits where one of the most legendary games in gambling history took place. It's said that this poker game ran continuously for 8 years, 3 months, and 8 days. Players included famous figures like Bat Masterson, Diamond Jim Brady, Doc Holliday, and even Wyatt Earp himself. The buy-in was steep, $1,000 in gold, equivalent to about $28,000 today. It's estimated that approximately $10 million changed hands during this marathon game, with the house taking a 10% cut. That's why the Birdcage was one of the most profitable businesses in Tombstone, despite the town's eventual economic decline. The original table and chairs remain in the basement today, and visitors often report strange sounds and occurrences in this area. The shuffling of cards, the clinking of glasses, and even the murmur of voices when no one else is present. The Birdcage Theater didn't earn its reputation as the wildest, wickedest night spot for nothing. During its 8 years of operation, 26 people met violent deaths within its walls. Evidence of these deadly encounters can still be seen today. Over 140 bullet holes punctuate the walls and ceiling. One of the most famous stories involves the death of a man named Billy Milgreen, who was shot during a bar fight. Legend has it that as he lay dying on the floor, one of the dance hall girls knelt beside him. When she stood up, the pattern of her silk dress had been imprinted in his blood on the wooden floor, a stain that reportedly could never be removed. The New York Times once described Tombstone as the town too tough to die, and the Birdcage Theater embodied this spirit. Despite the frequent violence, business continued to thrive until circumstances beyond control intervened. In 1889, the pumps in Tombstone's silver mines failed, flooding the shafts with groundwater. The mining companies abandoned their operations, and without the steady flow of silver and miners' wages, Tombstone's economy collapsed. The Birdcage Theater, like many businesses in town, was forced to close its doors. What makes the Birdcage Theater unique among historical sites is what happened next, or rather, what didn't happen. After closing, the building was essentially sealed up with much of its original furnishings, fixtures, and even personal items still inside. Like a Wild West time capsule, it would remain largely untouched for decades. Today, visitors can see the original bar where cowboys and miners once drank, the stage where performers like Lily Langtry and Eddie Foy entertained, and even the infamous bird cages where fortunes were spent on fleeting companionship. Among the most fascinating artifacts is the Black Maria, a horse-drawn hearse that carried many of Tombstone's deceased to their final resting place. Valued at $1,000 when new, equivalent to $30,000 today, it's one of the best preserved examples of funeral vehicles from this era. When the Birdcage Theater reopened as a tourist attraction in the mid-20th century, visitors and staff soon began to report strange occurrences. The building's violent past and sudden abandonment created the perfect conditions for what many believe to be residual hauntings, psychic impressions of emotionally charged events replaying like a supernatural recording. Others believe that the spirits of those who lived, loved, fought, and died here remain attached to the location. Whatever the explanation, the Birdcage Theater has become known as one of America's most haunted buildings. The most frequently reported apparition is that of a tall, dark-clothed man who appears near the bar or on the main floor. Many believe this to be the ghost of a former bouncer or enforcer who still keeps watch over the establishment. In the notorious birdcages, visitors have reported hearing female whispers, laughter, and the rustle of dresses. Some have even claimed to feel an unseen presence sitting beside them on the antique couches. The ghost of a former prostitute known as Margarita is said to appear near the stage area. According to legend, she was stabbed to death by a customer in a jealous rage. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for paranormal activity is the main chandelier, which witnesses claim will sometimes sway and the crystals will tinkle as if disturbed, even when there is no breeze or movement in the building. The basement poker room remains a hotspot for unusual experiences. Staff and paranormal investigators have recorded unexplained voices, sudden cold spots, and even the sound of poker chips being stacked when no one is present. The Birdcage Theater has been featured on numerous paranormal investigation shows, including Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, and Ghost Lab. These professional ghost hunters have captured electronic voice phenomena, unexplained temperature fluctuations, and even what appear to be figures moving in the darkness. During one famous investigation, a team recorded what sounded like a woman singing on the stage when the building was empty. Another team captured a male voice saying, "Get out," in the basement poker room. Photographs taken by both investigators and everyday tourists have shown mysterious orbs, unexplained mists, and in some cases, what appear to be partial apparitions of figures in period clothing. The most interesting evidence comes from the consistent nature of the experiences reported by thousands of visitors over the decades. People who know nothing of the building's haunted reputation often report similar phenomena in the same locations. A common experience is the sudden, overwhelming smell of cigar smoke, perfume, or whiskey, scents that materialize and disappear without explanation. Others report feeling watched, particularly in the bird cages and near the bar. Some visitors have felt inexplicable emotions: sadness near where Billy Milgreen died, anxiety in certain bird cages, or even euphoria near the stage. Psychics and mediums who have visited the location consistently identify the same areas as having strong spirit activity, despite having no prior knowledge of the building's history. Today, the Birdcage Theater operates as a museum, preserving a remarkable slice of America's Wild West history. Daily tours guide visitors through the building, pointing out original fixtures, bullet holes, and areas of reported paranormal activity. Nighttime ghost tours offer the brave an opportunity to experience the birdcage when darkness falls, the time when spirit activity is said to be at its peak. Some visitors bring cameras or recording devices in hopes of capturing evidence of the supernatural. Whether you're a history buff, a paranormal enthusiast, or simply curious about America's frontier past, the Birdcage Theater offers a glimpse into a time when Tombstone truly earned its reputation as the town too tough to die. The Birdcage Theater stands as a monument to Tombstone's silver boom days, a period of wealth, violence, vice, and eventually decline. While the silver veins beneath the town have long since been abandoned, the spirits of those who lived, worked, and died here may still linger, playing out their dramas for those sensitive enough to perceive them. As we leave the Birdcage Theater behind, we're left to wonder, are the ghostly phenomena experienced by thousands merely the power of suggestion, or do the spirits of cowboys, miners, gamblers, and dance hall girls still roam these historic halls? Visit Tombstone and the Birdcage Theater yourself, and you might just find your answer in the whisper of a long-dead prospector or the phantom scent of perfume. Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain? Something that made the hair on the back of your neck stand up? I want to hear your story. If you enjoyed this Haunted Beyond History episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We've got more haunted destinations and forgotten stories coming your way. Thanks for watching.